Oh yeah, this is my thing. That's my beat. What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Pierre's Panic Room. You know how we do. We always have the flyers guest up on here, and this today no flyer. We can't get no flyer in this right here, brother. But before I go on with the show, let me read some of the comments, y'all. Boy, y'all some janky folks in here, boy. Y'all be leaving some hellified comments. The show I had with my man Pastor Troy, XAYE24 writes, man, I have been sleeping on Pierre. This dude's funny as hell. Oh, okay. Well, I like that then. That's a good one. Okay. Thank you, XAYE24, for saying that you've been sleeping on me. And if it's a female, you can sleep with me. So don't worry about that. Okay. All right. This next show is from Me Versus Myself. That's right. I did myself. It's from Scrapper D. All right. Scrapper D. All right. Here we go. Yo, Pierre, I know it would be damn near impossible, but you should try to get Halle Berry on the show. That shit would be lit. All right, yeah. You, how about you? You had a better chance of getting there, man. She's fine. She out of this atmosphere right now. I can't do much with her right now. But I will make an attempt to hit her in the DM and see what she gonna do. All right, this is from the Jack Thriller episode. This man XXX_rude_dog_XX. All right, Pierre, Hollywood failed you, brother. I have no idea why, but they did. You're one of the best. Oh man, there's some good ones. Usually y'all give me some janky ones. Thank you, XX_rude_dog_XXX. Hey brother, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. I'm excited about this next guest, as I am all my guests, but this one's extra, man. I had to really hunt this brother down. He's always busy, always doing stuff for the community and for his career, man. You know, you already seen the label. Y'all know who it is. I ain't gonna say much about him. To me, the king of the South, man, when it comes to rapping and damn near activism, anything else, man. Let's give it up for the one and only Mr. T.I. Let's go, T.I. Let's go. Hey, woo, woo, woo. Well, there he is right there. Look at that boy. Look at that boy. Looking like new money. What? Look at that man. Well, okay. Go good, brother. Have a seat. Have a seat, man. Damn.
Give me time. Damn.
Okay, my bad. Oh, you right. Give him time. Shit. All right, here we go. Here we go. Look at you, brother. You got the fashion. Is that some Oku?
This is actually not. This isn't a coup.
Okay.
I should have wore a coup though.
Yeah, man. That's what you come on.
Yeah, I should have wore a coup.
A businessman like yourself should know better.
I just figured wasn't too many people gonna see this shit, so it didn't matter that
Ooh,
much.
I like it, brother. You about right. No, come on, man.
It's Greg Lauren. It's actually Ralph Lauren's nephew.
Hold on. That's a white man, brother?
Yeah, this
you
is
got
a white man.
The white man's clothes on your back, brother?
Actually, I don't know. He might be mixed with something. I don't really know. But,
I know that's right.
But he takes all of Ralph Lauren's old stuff that he didn't sell and kind of rips it up and makes it new. So I like it because it's, you know,
all right,
it's
a little different flavor.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, before the show starts off, let me get some words out for myself. Disingenuous, extrapolate, reevaluate, congruently, and pontificate.
Okay.
Because what you ain't gonna be the only one.
The
last one, pontificate. Because you won't be the only one using big ass words.
What do these words mean?
No, I don't need to know, but I'm gonna use them.
No, I'm just asking you. Do you know what they mean?
You know what? Why I will know?
What?
I got my damn dictionary. Nigga. What you're not about to do is embarrass me on my own show with some words. So as you speak, brother, I will be looking if I don't understand.
And I'm gonna do the best I can to keep it. You know what I'm saying, on the 3rd, 4th grade level.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm gonna do the best I can. Nah, I'm just joking, man.
No,
like to be honest with you,
I
I just like to speak with people understand me. And if I say something that you don't understand,
right,
then just ask me and I tell you.
Right.
That's where I learn all. That's where I get my vernacular.
Right. But you know, it's funny. You tell me, I'm not from the South, and it seems like Southern people sometimes, and the young brothers, don't speak with full English words. They break them up. So for someone like yourself to use those words,
yeah, I'm an anomaly.
On the motherfucking big bullshit, me nigga.
It's in the A's.
It's in the A's.
Nah, man. I think that
your upbringing? Was it your upbringing, your parents or something?
Man, to be honest with you, I've always just loved to learn. You know what I mean? I've always loved to learn. And I was challenged in high school by my literature teacher. Her name was Miss Pearson.
Miss Pearson, okay.
At Douglas High. So I used to run the hallways. I was just a real
regular kid,
unapologetic badass.
Right.
And she challenged me. She knew I liked to rap, and she said, "Do you know this can make you a better rapper?" And I'm like, "How?" And she said, "Well, the more words you know, the more words you can use." And then she taught me things like, you know, double entendres, metaphors, similes, onomatopoeia, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. And I actually made a pretty good grade in her class.
You know what's funny? I'm an East Coast bro. You know, in my music, I like East Coast rap. So I came up with Big Daddy Kane and all of them, and Rakim. And I like, you know, I like people word play and taking 3 words and make it 1 word and so forth. And I felt like you came from that cut of cloth. You know what I'm saying? You know, I could tell when you rap, you try to use bigger words or make 3 words.
Well, I just try to say things in a unique way that, you know, would separate me from, you know, anybody else who may try to say the same thing.
Right. But you weren't. But some of the rappers now. Did you come up with Outkast and all that?
Of course I did.
Okay, so you came up with the Dungeon.
That's the
Family
Holy
Crew.
Grail down here.
Okay. But then I had some people, you know, some rappers who don't speak, you know, like you do. How did you not fall into that trap of saying that's hot? I want to do something different.
Well, I think to be honest, this is the only me I know how to be. You know what I'm saying? So I just. How I speak to you on this interview is the same way I speak if you met me getting out my car at the gas station. I just am who I am, and I like to maintain that on songs, in person, in interviews. I'm just unapologetically myself.
Okay. This is not my first time meeting you, but just sit down, have a sit down with you.
I came to your show.
I know.
You forgot?
No, I didn't forget, brother. I know that part, but I'm saying, I said sit down. Sit down. We stood up and talked. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying, player.
Excellent observation.
All right then, player. Let's get this going. Let's get this going right there. Let's get this going. Let's say Pierre's panic room. Don't say T.I.'s, okay? Shit. But no.
It's still early.
Yeah. Well, But with that being said, all right, what do you like people to call you? Tip, T.I., Clifford?
People who know me, well, no one calls me Clifford, I'm going to tell you that.
No, okay.
Like, you know,
yes, sir.
Judges and, you know, bill
collectors. Right. Call you.
But nah, I think people who know me personally call me Tip. Like, that's what my mom calls me. That's what all my best friends and, you know, everyone who knows me outside of the entertainment industry, they all call me Tip.
Okay.
But people who, like, know me from entertainment or people who know me as a celebrity first, they call me T.I.
Right, that's because when I was texting you, I was like, is it Tip or T.I.? Tip or T.I.?
Yeah.
I didn't want you to be like, nigga, you don't know me like that, man. Come on, son.
Nah, man, it just really.
So I was like,
it's a preference. It's really like, you know what I'm saying? I think I've grown fond of both of them. Like at first, I was kind of like hesitant to answer to T.I. And every now and again, like, you know what I'm saying, when my friends or my friends or family catch me acting Hollywood, they be like, all right, T.I. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's how that came. Okay.
Yeah.
So at a young age, you wanted to be a rapper. What age did you feel like you wanted to be a rapper? You said running the hallway. That's pretty young.
Man, to be honest with you, man, I started this dream probably about 10, 10 years old.
Right.
As soon as I learned that, so the first song I remember rapping to myself or rapping out loud, I should say, is LL Cool J, I'm Bad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Nobody can rap quite like I can.
Right.
I take a muscle-bound man, put his face in the sand.
Right.
So I used to do that performing for my uncles and all my older counterparts in my family, you know what I'm saying, just trying to fit in and be cool, you know. And my uncles used to let me stay up late and hang out with them and their homeboys, sip out their beer, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, it made me feel like much more mature that I was able to do something that other cats my age wasn't really into.
Right.
And then it was a test day. So at school, I think it's second grade.
Okay.
I'm taking a test. And I finished before everyone else. And I remember my uncle told me if he get another call from that school about me showing my ass, I was gonna get it. So I had to find a way to occupy my mind and not disrupt the rest of the class, even though I was finished way before they were. And so I just said, let me see if I can write my own rap. And I did it, performed it on the playground, and everybody went crazy, couldn't believe that I wrote it.
Right.
They challenged me to write another one by the next day. And so before you know it, I was the entertainment at recess.
Right. Now, when you write raps like that, do you have music in your head, or you just off the top of your, like, how does that go?
At the time, no. I was just being challenged by just putting words together that rhyme. I was just, you know, and trying to tell my version of a story or through the perspective of my 9-year-old eyes.
Okay, perspective. Okay, I got you, brother. Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm gonna get you. No, now, okay, you say you grew up in Atlanta, but are we talking one of them Atlanta like, way out in Marietta or out in, or you was growing up in the city,
I'm
in the
from
city?
Bankhead.
From Bankhead.
Yeah, I'm from Bankhead. I'm from the West Side, Zone 1. I went to Grove Park Elementary School.
I've been down there before.
Usher Middle School. I went to West Fulton for a day. I went to West Fulton when it was a middle school for one day. They pulled me out of there. I went to Woodland Middle School. I went to Riverdale Middle School, which is the outskirts. They tried to move me out, get a better life. Then I got kicked out of all Clayton County school systems.
I'm about to say, you've been kicked out of a lot of schools.
I went to McNair Middle School in College Park. I went to about 25 schools.
Really, bro? You was a little bad seed, I guess.
My nickname is Lil Badass Tip from Bankhead. That's
really
my nickname. Like a pimp named Slickback.
Right.
I was Lil Badass Tip from Bankhead.
Did you come up with anybody we know? In your neighborhood? 'Cause you did a lot of moving, so did you run into people?
Me and The Dream. If you're familiar with The Dream.
The producer, music producer?
Yeah, he's a music producer, songwriter, produced for Kanye.
Right.
Beyonce, Jay, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Rihanna.
Right. Oh yeah.
He and I, we live in the same, he from Bankhead too. So he and I went to elementary school together, rode the same school bus.
Okay.
But the thing is, when he got off the school bus, he went straight in the house, like straight in the house.
Right.
He had like
Parents.
a real strict grandfather and didn't play that shit. He got his ass straight from the bus stop, straight in the house, and we wouldn't see him no more till the next morning at the bus stop.
Right. Well, he had a dream, you know.
He did.
He had a dream. So the streets
worked
wasn't gonna
out.
do it.
Shit
Right. Well, shit worked out for you too. You know what I'm saying?
It's still going.
It's still. Now, how was your family dynamic? Was your father around? Your mother and father around when you growing up, or how'd that roll with?
I know my father. My father lived in New York City, and I spent a lot of time in New York too, which kind of is how I kind of got turned on to a lot of old school, early stages of hip hop.
Okay.
So I was exposed. Me and my pops, we used to walk on Broadway. Me, him, my little brother, my sisters. We'll walk on Broadway. That would be like our nightcap. You know what I'm saying? Like, say around after dinner around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Nice.
He'll take us and we'll walk down Broadway about 10 blocks and come back. And so I saw a lot of, mixtapes when they were selling like Run G, Kid Capri, DJ Clue.
Hell yeah, okay.
Those mixtapes and stuff. So I used to get those and listen to them, and they were playing. I was being exposed to stuff that I had never heard in Atlanta before. So I like to consider myself a trafficker of culture. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I would bring out everything from Benetton to, just lottos, like everything that wasn't going on down here.
Right.
I would Bart Simpson shirts. I'd come down after I spent the summer with my pops and bring this back down to Atlanta. And the shit that I was having, they weren't having for another 6 months to a year.
Right.
And so, that turned me on to a lot of music, a lot of fashion, and just a different lifestyle. Right.
Well, you had to have a dope eye in fashion too, because some people could have clowned you with the shit you had on. Like, what the fuck you got on?
Of course.
What the hell you had
it was some of that.
from?
It was some of that. But you know what I'm saying? Like I could fight too.
Well, that's always good. Yeah. That's a nice equalizer.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think especially when you my size, like just people knowing that you will fight.
Right.
I think is the.
She was at one ass. All you gotta do is go through at whoop ass one time.
Yeah.
And the message has been sent.
Or fight somebody like 2-3 times your size. It's like, damn,
he ain't back down from that.
You see
so
what
he
I'm
will
saying?
fight. Right.
Yeah,
he will fight. He will fight.
And I think me and God is good enough to get through anything. So I just always left it in God's hands.
I feel you.
Using my own though.
Right. No, well, God gave you them hands to do what you're doing.
You
with
dig
them.
what I'm saying?
There it is.
Whatever needs to be done.
Do you feel like you're an old soul when you were always a young old soul? That's why you brought the different vision to your rap and your stories and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to some of the I hate to say candy ass rappers. I ain't gonna do that. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like you maybe more mature than your age when you got into hip hop from the history.
I believe so, and not taking anything away from anyone else. You know what I'm saying? But I was born to a father that was 50 years older than me. Like he was 50 years old when he had me.
Hell yeah, okay.
So I didn't, as a child, like I didn't play a lot of sports. I didn't do much, but strategize on how to get money. Like that was basically because my father was a hustler, my uncles were hustlers. Everybody in my family was kind of like finding a way to elevate the family financially in a way. That was
Right,
everybody
right.
around me who I was looking at. It's like, man, I ain't got time to do that shit. I gotta, gotta get some money. Gotta, So
right.
that was instilled in me. Like one of the first lessons that my father taught me was a man supposed to keep money in his pocket.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Something
Like that
right.
was like, and that was like 3 years old. So early on,
Damn.
I just developed a passion for entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I started selling candy when I was like in 4th grade.
Like that.
You know what I mean? And I became the little dude that my cousins or aunts or that you could borrow money from me.
Wow.
You know what
yeah,
I'm
that kind of
saying?
little change with you. Okay,
Yeah, a little
okay.
bit, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They
yeah.
used to keep me a few $100s, stash.
few
here and
$100s,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, a few $100s here and there. I learned very early that my parents, my mom, who was, Section 8 food stamps, welfare,
Right.
she couldn't buy me the things that
You wanted, right.
my taste desired. So I knew I had to figure out a way for myself. And, my pops instilled in me early to take care of my mom, take care of my family, and keep some money in my pocket.
And you went from candy to
Crack.
other oh, fuck it then. We'll go right to it and shit.
Yeah,
right,
I went
right.
straight from candy to crack.
When you was out there doing that, did you have any fear of going to jail or getting caught? Your parents knowing you?
Nah, man, I never had any fear of going to jail or anything. I think I was so young and just stupid.
Okay.
And then it was so early on, I think, in the crack era that the consequences hadn't caught up to the actions yet.
Okay.
You know
okay.
what I mean? So I was too dumb to be scared.
And what age was you, like
14? 13,
Wow.
14,
Right, yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Sixth grade.
You had to carry a tool with you at all?
I learned that I needed one.
At what age did you have to do that?
13, 14.
Damn, you okay.
Look, so okay, I'll tell you what happened. Okay, so I was pretty much a straight A student up until middle school, and I was introduced to the drug trade and whatnot by older kids who was like high school, maybe
Right.
even dropped out or
Right.
whatnot. But they knew me as the little kid who sold the cans, and I kept paper on me. And when I started selling dope, I immediately began to feel like I was missing out when I went to school. Like the cats who staying out of school
All
is
right, I
is
feel
out
you.
making money,
Right.
and I'm in school missing
Learning
out,
something.
right?
Okay.
So one day I decided to skip school
Okay.
so I could,
Hang out with the
hustle.
boys.
Not hang out with the boys. I was on a mission. I was hustling.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm playing. So my cover was I'm playing Street Fighter in this. It was a restaurant, a barbecue restaurant in a plaza right in front of my apartments, named Mr. Soul. I still remember the name, Mr. Soul. Right? Mr. Soul had the new Street Fighter game, so I'd be playing the game in the midst of watching out for potential customers. So I come outside. Nobody ever wanted to buy crack from me because I was so small. I looked so. I guess I reminded them of their children. Like,
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like
okay,
nobody.
yeah,
It was
right.
always
A little boy.
a task, And a car pulls up, and if anybody ever trapped in a trap in Atlanta, the thing is you run up and you hold your hands out, show them what you got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. They look.
And they choose who they want to choose from. And so I did that, ran up, held my hand out, and I looked around and I noticed I'm the only one at the car. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. So I'm like, well, he's like, what you got? I'm like, man, I got dimes. And then he looking, and then he started looking around, and then he said, police, police, and he slapped my hand. And I looked around, and I go back at Mr. Soul to hide from the police, and I look up, everybody laughing. Man, ain't no motherfucking police. The man just took all my dope I had in my hand.
Wow.
And he riding down and getting on the highway. And that's when I learned, man, you gonna need a tool.
Right. Did you start rapping, and were you still selling drugs when you was rapping? Or how did that merge? You said, "No, I'm gonna leave that alone, hit the rap game."
Okay, so that's a lengthy question. So
We got time.
I said,
Like what you meant.
so I started in the drug trade
Right.
as a teenager, and I was introduced, to some people who put me in the studio. So that kind of, I shut it down.
Cool.
And I had a dream. Criss Cross and Jermaine Dupri, they showed me that, I ain't got to wait till I get older.
There you go.
That's what I thought. I thought I had to wait,
to be a rapper.
right, until I
officially.
got LL Cool J's age.
And this was like 15 years old around this time?
This was like 13.
Okay, 13. All right,
yeah,
go ahead.
something like that. 13, maybe 14. So I stopped, focused on my rap career. My resources dwindled, so I'm down to now. I'm a struggling artist at this point. And I really, even as a kid, I just wasn't used to not having money in my pocket and like living off of whatever an allowance is.
Right,
You know, I
sure.
just wasn't used to that. And so I started recording the demo. They put me in the studio. I did like 4 or 5 songs, and we shopped it around the record labels. They wasn't hearing it, because I was still talking about like grown-up shit that you probably wouldn't want to hear your
13,
kids
14.
listen to.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you know what I
okay. Go
mean?
ahead.
And when that didn't work, I got discouraged and dove head first back into the streets again.
Right, right.
And it wasn't until like Master P came out that I was like, you know what? I have another angle at it. You know, then I was hustling to sell shit out my trunk.
Right.
And before that happened, I was introduced to KP from LaFace, and I got signed.
Now, did you have your own flow even when you started, or did you was you mimicking people before you got to who you felt, you were?
I mean, I had my own story.
Okay.
But I do feel like I may have picked up like some flow from people like Snoop and, you know what I'm saying, people that I admired at the time.
Right. Comedians do the same shit. Comedians do the same shit. You know,
Right.
trying to talk like Kevin Hart and shit. All night long. Nigga, come on, bro. You know, the fuck is going on here? Okay, cool. So then when you got signed, it's like you moved kind of quickly though with your career.
Yeah,
like,
it
you
would
know,
look like that to
the
the
first
untrained eye.
Okay.
Nah,
Yeah.
man. It didn't go very well for me at all at first. You know, I released the album on LaFace Records, my first album, I'm Serious, which this is the 20th anniversary.
Right.
I'm Serious.
Right. I do know that.
And it didn't quite receive the attention from the label that it deserved, or that I felt it deserved.
Most artists say that.
You know what I mean? Well, no, some motherfuckers, 50 Cent can't say that. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, some motherfuckers.
But when the
Nelly can't say
But
that.
when the album doesn't do well, that's what we normally say. Listen to the album now.
You
It
know
wasn't
what? You're
really
right
top
about that.
notch. That's what I'm here
You're
for.
right, but but it definitely was. In comparison to other things that were going on,
Right.
and considering where music went,
Right.
I believe that it was definitely ahead of its time.
Okay.
And another thing, people said that they couldn't tell where I was from because of how I was rapping, because I was so lyrical. People just couldn't tell I was from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this one song that I had on there, it was actually 2 songs that got a lot of attention. One of them was Still Ain't Forgave Myself, and the other one was Dope Boys. And Dope Boys and Trap Niggas was, that's what really got people to calling me to come do shows in Jacksonville and Chattanooga and Memphis and Carolinas and Montgomery,
Right,
Birmingham. And I began to swell from there. And what I noticed was so at this time, let me just frame it. At this time, LA had sold LaFace and he became the president of Arista. When he sold LaFace, I mean, he moved from, so LaFace office in Atlanta that I was used to going to, getting things done, shut down.
Right.
Now there's a commute from here to New York to get things done.
Oh, New York, okay.
Yeah. But the LaFace office left a bunch of like supplies and things that they didn't take to New York with them. So I got to hope that you remember those promotional CDs that had the little hole in the back say for promo only?
Sure.
So I had like 10, 12 boxes of those of my stuff. And I just started handing them out some places, selling them other places.
Really?
You know what I mean? And then when some mom and pop stores, they would say, hey man, we ran out of your CD, you sold out in this store, and we trying to restock, and they late. I'm like, man, I got a box, what you need?
Right.
And I'm like, what price they give you? Well, I do it for, and I just kind of created a name for myself.
And this without radio play.
Yeah, it wasn't really, the only person who would play Dope Boys was Greg Street.
Okay, yeah.
That was
He
the only
booked
person
a lot
who
of people
played
out here in
Dope
Atlanta.
Boys.
Yeah, he did. That's real cool. Let me ask you, with the unfortunate passing recently of young Dolph, I feel like, do you feel, because you came up and you had some people try to shoot at you and do some stuff. Do you feel like, what hip hop? I mean, is it hip hop? Is it young black men? What is this that causes that kind of situation? It seems like it happened a lot.
That's a tough one. Well, first, I want to send blessings and prayers and condolences, to Dolph's family. He was a father. He had children. He has children, and I think that I think a lot of times, man, it'd be ego. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's ego and energy, you know? Ego and energy. Like universal law is
You attract.
the energy that you distribute, you will receive. And that goes for everyone, all of us, myself included. I learned this early on. And not so early on, because I continue with the bullshit. I just been, by the grace of God, I'm still here.
Right, sure.
But I think that, man, it's unfortunate. I know he created a path and a way and made and just had created opportunities for a lot of young black men to be entrepreneurial. And trap music blessed all of us to do what we love for a living and not have to endure those same conditions. You know what I mean?
Get out of the situation you're in.
Yeah. It definitely has blessed numerous souls.
Do you think it cursed some of them too at the same time because of that?
Well, I mean,
jealousy,
back to
hatred?
universal law.
Right.
Universal law states there can be no good without bad, no up without down, no dark without light. So wherever there are blessings, there shall be curses.
Yeah, but I think what you said, because let me ask you, because I watched, like sometimes I heard in the last year, so many young rappers got killed, you know, and I didn't know who they were, and I had to go Google them and see their video, and I said, all right. So a lot of them had a couple of things. They were young black men, they had guns in their video, they had money, and they were talking about gang stuff. And I'm like, I felt like, should YouTube put if white folks was dying like that, would white country western scene, would YouTube let it play? I'm never down for censorship, but it seems like it leads to a lot of times that kind of stuff. You talk shit online, I'm talk shit back on you.
I got it. All right, well, if they're gonna censor music, are you also gonna censor video games like Grand Theft Auto? Are you also gonna censor movies?
But let me ask you a question. But if I say, T.I., I would say that, is a bitch, and then fuck you and your whole family, that ain't no video game. Your boy's gonna say, you heard what he said, and you gonna come at me, and then I'm gonna look for you, and now it could be something that's like, damn. You don't get that with video games, though.
I've been there. Well, listen, what I feel like, the culture of mass shootings, I feel like kind of was birthed from Grand Theft Auto. I feel like if you can virtually live out this act, it plants a seed of a fantasy in your mind that, depending on how much you sensationalize it to yourself or how emotional you get about a certain situation, it could become a reality for you.
There you go. Yeah.
I think, bro, everybody has to realize that we are all sharing the earth together. Nobody has any more of a right or a claim to the earth than anyone else. You dig? Okay. And I've been there where, I got emotional about some words. And, you know what I'm saying, it carried me into some stuff. And, just like I said, by the grace of God, I came out unscathed, However, it took for me to go through those things to see that these words, they not really worth the detriment that I'm laying on the table. I'm putting so much at risk over words. And one of the things that made me see this is, I'd hear people say these types of things and talk this way, and I'd see them out, and it wouldn't be that same energy. So I'm like, why would I get myself kind of stretched out of my skin about words that obviously people don't even really mean? People just operating off of ego.
You know that, but people he said that to us, they think, oh, T.I. ain't taking it. T.I. motherfucker, he clown that motherfucker. You're not worried about that, but
I think
you have an image, and we all have images as men.
I mean, my image is what I want it to be every day I wake up. Okay. I create my image in real time, and nobody can define that for me but me. You know what I'm saying? And I had this saying a while ago, and it was, I don't know what you'll do for your respect, but I'm going to die for mine, right? And I had enough time in prison just to sit back and just think about shit like that. And It was an old head that told me, you know, because I probably just said it. You know, I'm going to die for mine. It said, have you heard what you said? You going to die. And he asked me, he said, okay, so if a person don't respect you, you willing to die for that?
Right.
And he said, that sounds like an easy way to get you out the way. And then he asked me a question that I couldn't forget. He said, what is the value of the respect that comes from a non-respectable person?
I like that.
Like, what is the value of the respect that comes from a non-respectable person? If nobody respects you, why do I care whether or not you respect me? You know what I mean? And I had an opportunity to pontificate.
I got that. Okay, good. We got 4 more words.
I had the opportunity to pontificate, and you know, I just came to the conclusion that ain't none of this shit really worth any of that energy that we put into it. It becomes worth the energy when the energy we invest is all that it's worth.
You're right.
So without that energy, it's worth nothing.
You know, it's funny you say that because, you know, I've talked about certain things. You've seen me on shows and shit, but I've talked online, and I've gotten other people's, I'll use minions. You can look at it unless you know what minions.
Yeah, minions.
You know minions. Okay, brother.
Yeah, minions.
I knew I was
Not
talking
minions.
to.
I don't know what minions,
Yeah,
like
come on, man.
Funyuns.
That's my show, man.
Like minions. I know what minions are.
What
yeah.
we're gonna edit that part out. Okay, fuck that. Okay, shit, no. No, right. Supporters, fuck it. I'm for my crowd. Supporters. Subordinates. All right. That I realized they were coming at me online. Fuck you, bitch, nigga, clown, motherfucker, fuck you. And I was, you know, being a man. I mean, fuck you. I went back. And I started thinking, what am I doing this for? First of all, we probably never gonna meet. I'm putting too much energy on somebody who's clowning me that don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I would go to see who it was and have 0 followers or one follower. I'm like, what?
Now,
what
people
is this
who
bullshit?
create fake pages just to say bullshit,
That's
like
crazy.
That's crazy. Like
To waste that
there's a
time.
special place in the psych ward for people like
I know
that.
that's right. Yeah, so I had to learn that too, man. So you know
Like
what?
if I say something, I want to say it with my name. I want you to know it came from
I heard
me.
that. I heard
You dig
that.
what I'm saying? I want you to look at me. I'm saying this to you.
Yeah.
This is how I feel.
Yeah,
And I stand by this. Now, if you are going to creating an anonymous page just to say words that are really that really reflect how you feel, I don't understand that. Like that's psycho. It's incredibly psycho.
Now that sounds like a mature tip.
Yeah, 41-year-old too.
Because the 20-year-old was in Houston looking for Lil Flip.
Yeah.
God damn it, I know that this tip won't go look for Flip or any flip flop flam. Right.
Me and Flipper, we spoke, man.
Of course.
We spoke, man. We made amends. We actually was going, you know, we were planning to sit down publicly and hash that out.
But you was in a different mind frame back then, dude. To go to somebody, to get on the radio and act like that, you wouldn't do that today.
Man, crazy.
Yeah, young and crazy.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it for the same reasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think the greatest gift you can give a human being is to die for a purpose. So I put myself in the mix for the right reason. It's gonna have to be, you know, it's gonna have to be some real physical hurt, harm, or danger that comes to me and mine in order to get me there.
Right.
Words ain't enough no more.
Right. But you know, that's why one of the reasons I respect you a lot. I was walking in my neighborhood one day and I ran into you and Killer Mike. It was right there by the George Floyd. They were doing a riot here in Atlanta, with tearing stuff up, and within like 40 minutes, he was on TV.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. And I could see how emotional you were, you know, and Killer Mike. The stuff you do for the city.
Emotional. I
Anger? That's emotion.
Nah, it wasn't anger. I wasn't angry.
Okay.
I was overwhelmed, for one, to be put in that position, to have to speak to people who I may disagree with what they're doing, but I still understand why they're doing it.
Sure.
And having an impromptu appearance on a press conference with the mayor to make an attempt to speak reason to our people about our city, it was a lot. You know what I mean? It was a lot.
Yeah,
It ain't. I'm no politician. Like, that ain't what I signed up to do. However, I feel like God speaks through the most unknown or mysterious people at different times in life for different reasons. So I just wanted to, make myself available to be a vessel. And it wasn't really a lot of emotion. I was just trying to find the words. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to make the best of this moment.
Oh, okay.
You dig what I'm saying? How to make the best of this moment. And I think my message, which may have gotten misconstrued, was there are many other places outside of Atlanta, very close to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
There's the largest monument for white supremacy in the nation. 30 minutes east at Stone Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Klan Mountain. This would be the Klan.
Absolutely. That's the
Yes,
largest monument, the largest dedication to white supremacy in the country, right there.
Right.
Why in the hell are you at Phipps Plaza going in the Gucci store? I just don't understand how one goes with the other, especially when you just gonna line up when they raise the prices from the stolen goods, and they gonna raise the prices 20% and you still gonna pay it. I just don't understand what the logic lies within that.
Well,
and there's also another monument, which is Marietta Square, 75 North, where black people were hung. And that still is there. So I don't understand why this outrage wasn't properly directed at the places that deserve it. You know what I mean? That's all. That was my only thing. Not saying, and maybe I didn't word it correctly.
Right.
But not to say that we should not be outraged, but I think what we do with that rage, I feel, is incredibly important.
Right, and I respect that. But you're talking about young black people that were running into some of those stores, taking stuff out.
Certainly.
Well, they idolize people like yourself. Those ain't liquor store glasses. I don't think those are. Those ain't liquor store glasses.
They might be. I won't tell.
But the people that look up to, who y'all sport out the jewelry and the clothes, and say, hey, look at me, I'm living large, I'm doing my thing. Like you said, they want to be like you, like a lot of those young cats.
Yes, and they have every opportunity to be. They have every opportunity to be, but they have
breaking the door and grabbing that shit would have me looking like
that ain't
you.
gonna, nope, for 30 minutes.
Well,
maybe for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, people look at the result. They don't look at the work that went into becoming this result, to achieving this result.
Sure.
So if you look at me today, without looking at me all the times I slept on the floor and, just did without, because once I got signed, I never went back to selling drugs.
Right.
You know what I mean? I never wanted to disrespect my blessing by going against it, doing something that could basically
could be detrimental to what you were.
Ooh,
okay, come on, I got you. We here now. We here. Yeah.
But doing things that could compromise it. So yeah, I never, you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's kind of, to me, man, trap music is kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous. You dig?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So trap music to me, an alcoholic, if he's a recovering alcoholic and he's gone through the steps and he's kicked his habit, it could be 12 years, 2 years, 20 years. He could still remember how alcohol tastes. He could describe it to you.
Yeah.
He could tell you the last time he was drunk. He could tell you about all of the times that led up to him seeking recovery. And he earned the right to speak on these things because that's his testimony.
Right, sure.
He earned that right.
Sure.
And the same way he can still speak on those things, even though he's not having a drink and hadn't had a drink in years. And the same way he can do that is the same way we could talk about the things that we used to do, and we could still, create trap music.
Now, with you being an activist as much as you are, I applaud you for that.
Thank you. I wouldn't call myself, I'm active, but I wouldn't call myself an activist.
Why would you not call yourself an activist?
Well, I think because, man, there's people who really sacrifice their luxuries in their life. They live far more modest lifestyles, and
You can't be a rich activist?
I think that's like an oxymoron to a certain degree, I believe. That's just what I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
I mean, I'm active,
Right.
and I would like to support people who are grassroots organizers, boots on the ground. I will get front line for a cause.
And it could hurt your career, though.
I mean, it has, but it's
Right.
cool.
So that is
God closes the door, opens the window.
Okay. Let's talk about the what we call it, departments.
Yes.
The departments.
Departments. Yeah.
First of all, how do we get the departments? That ain't in no dictionary.
That's Atlanta. That's Atlanta shit.
Oh, okay.
That's real Atlanta.
Okay.
That's Atlanta vernacular. That's Atlanta's way of saying the apartments.
Oh, okay. So you're building an apartment community for lower income people.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my series.
Oh, my bad.
No, well.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. My bad. You're right.
No, well, wait a minute now.
I gotta fire
because
somebody.
both.
Oh, I'm about to fire somebody.
Both are equally factual.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm working on a television series that I co-wrote.
With a whole bunch of comedians. Then you didn't ask me for shit.
I co-wrote.
Nigga.
I just met you.
I don't give.
I
You never heard
you.
about me
You just
before?
said, remember we were standing up talking?
Right.
Now we sitting down talking.
Okay.
So this lead to,
All right, go ahead.
plant seeds and grow trees. You dig what I'm saying? Not the other way around. But anyway.
All right.
So co-wrote, produced, financed, directed for the first time. And it's basically just a story about a place where things happen, unexplainable things happen, hilarious things happen in this one set of apartments, and sort of like The Office. You know how The Office is like it's in one building,
Right.
and all these different stories are taking place in this one area, but it's one location. So I think that's what we're going, and it's the most hilarious thing that I have witnessed. I'll show you the trailer.
You wrote it?
Yeah, co-wrote.
Really? Co-wrote it. Because you got a lot of great comedians from Atlanta up in that joint. So I know it's got to be funny to wrangle them, to keep them together.
Co-executive producing with DC Young Fly.
Oh, nice. Okay, he's funny boy. Yeah. Oh, no. You know.
And we also from the same neighborhood as well.
Okay. So you keep your finger on the pulse with the young and the older folks. I like that.
I do the best I can. I can.
Well, no, you do it. All right, then that's the other place then. The location.
The development.
The development. Let's go with that. The development. So what is that? What exactly is that?
It's an affordable housing development, mixed use development that.
What's that mean, mixed use?
Mixed use means retail as well as residential. So
Okay.
you know, kind of like when you go downstairs and there's stores at the bottom.
Right. Coffee shops and all that, cleaners and stuff.
Exactly. That's
Dope.
mixed use. That's a mixed use community.
Okay.
So it will have 143, I believe, 43 units.
Okay.
All affordable housing.
Okay.
Because that's a huge thing in Atlanta. 90% of the people who work in Atlanta can't afford to live in Atlanta anymore.
Okay.
Because the price point is elevated.
No, without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So much. Atlanta used to be the place where you can come and get more for your money. Now it's a place you can't even come and get.
Yeah. Now when I moved out, they started tearing up
mean?
Hollywood Court, Bowen Homes. I was like, damn, where am I gonna get my girls from and shit? My little shorties. But no. So let me ask you a question. Okay, that's nice, and I like that, and don't take it the wrong way. But how do you stop that from turning into the hood?
I mean, to be honest with you, you know that sweet spot of the first 12 to 24 months where everything's all good.
Right.
Okay, we want to give people the peace of mind of at least that. Now, we'll do everything that we can to keep systems in place to prevent it from
drugs and spray painting and
But at the end of the day, man, the lack of education, the lack of opportunities, and the
Okay.
lack of exposure have plagued our communities for generations. And these are the things that cause the systemic cycle.
Okay.
To
I agree with
continue.
it.
I don't have the answer because it existed before I was born. You know what I'm saying? So it was here before I got here. It'll probably be here after I leave. All I can do is my part, which I'm making every attempt to do. But I do believe that when you treat people like animals, they act like animals.
That's true.
When you give people something that they can be proud of, something that they can invest their time, efforts, and energy into, then they'll hold it in high regard because of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just making an attempt to, and if it doesn't happen this time, then it'll happen the next time, or the next time. But if we never try, we'll never make it.
Now I'm gonna let you get on me about this, and I'm saying this out of respect.
Usually some disrespectful shit comes
Right. No. But I've lived all over the place. I lived in the hood, in DC in the hood, and I've lived in nice places. When I first moved out here, I moved into a place off of Marietta Street that used to be a hood, but then they turned it into they wind up turning it into like, Section 8, like you did, and nice people live. But when I lived around the white neighborhoods, say Alpharetta style or whatever,
sure,
in apartments, the arm didn't get knocked out every other day, the arms you drive through. Mm-hmm. But when I took myself to the hood, it was knocked off, mailbox yanked open. I don't want to say black people, but that's what I was around, and white people, they didn't do that. So I know you said well, it didn't happen when I was around white folks, so just tell me what.
I just told you.
I would say what you just said is how they teach. So
education, opportunity, and exposure.
Shit.
Most black people who knocked down the arms
Right.
hadn't been exposed to communities that had arms before, they didn't know how to treat it with respect for the first few months, years, or however long. So that is something that had to be, like we had to adjust to that. You know what I mean? Because most times, even when there were gates up, like, okay, so when gates go up in rich white people neighborhoods, it feels like it's to keep the riffraff out, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But when gates go up in our neighborhoods, it kind of seems like it's to keep the riffraff in. You dig what I'm saying? Right. So I think a lot of that energy, it goes into how people behave. People know when they're being, when you're being condescending toward them. People can sense when you're just playing on their intelligence. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
But I like what you said.
Or the lack thereof.
Right. I like what you said. If they tear it up, we're going to fix it again. We're going to fix it back up again.
Listen.
Until they learn.
Man,
if they keep seeing nicer shit, and they be like, you know what? I ain't going to stop. I'm going to stop fucking with this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop.
I mean,
sometimes you got to do that.
If we find some people who need, with no consequence, there's no correction. So,
boy.
If,
True.
But that we deal with that on a case-by-case basis. We don't just try and punish an entire community because of a few bad apples.
No, you're right.
You did, because as you just compared us to white communities don't do that. When white communities get a few bad apples, they cover for them, somebody talk to them, deal with them, and then we'll just continue our community moving forward. And that's the same thing we got to do.
There you go.
We can't just say, okay, well, let's stop building, let's stop growing, let's stop evolving, because there's a few of us that don't really see the value in progression. We can't do that.
No, you're right. I just moved back to Maryland to my father's house, and he used to have people parking in front of his house, in front of his driveway, because the apartment complex actually inside the neighborhood, and it's supposed to be 25 miles an hour because this is a main street to going in, but people are doing 65 miles an hour. And I went and talked to the mayor, the police chief, the council member, and I got speed humps put in place. I got parking on our front of our street. You can't park, just and walk across the street to the apartment complex because of overflow. And people were telling me, man, you're a godsend. Older people in my neighborhood, I live in a black neighborhood. It used to be mostly black. Now the Mexican
young niggas can't stand you that bit.
Maybe you're right, because they can't ride fast. They don't necessarily know I did it though. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But I feel you. Well, we got to cut that. We're going to cut this part right here. I was telling you that and stuff. All right,
man, I get it, though. But I think, man,
we got to do it.
You're going to upset some people with advancement, because most of the time we feel like we're doing things for the less fortunate, right?
Okay.
While they're in the position that they are in life, it feels to them like we're doing something to them.
There it is.
When what really needs to happen is a collaboration, so we can do something with them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what we got to grow to that point, though.
All right. Well, I got a couple more questions because I know you got to go, but let's check this out. So here's one.
Could you hand it to me?
One of my things is,
thank you so much.
You're working with him now.
It was a request.
Anything?
It wasn't a mandate.
Let me ask you a question. Let me see if I can. I've seen Family Hustle. I like the way you make your kids, get their, work for their situation and not just give them a situation a lot of times. I can respect that, because my father was like that too. I used to have to get up in the mornings, even days I was off, I didn't have to go to work. He's like, when I get up, you get up. Now, when I leave, your ass can go back to bed, but you're going to get up when I get up. I'm going to see a man up in the morning. Yeah, it's funny now. It wasn't funny when you were 14, 15 years old.
I understand what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? But
I feel it.
Now I've traveled all over the country for the last 30 years. I missed 2 flights in my whole life. I probably drove 1,000 flights, you know what I'm saying? I don't mess around, because I know
You
it's about
conditioned
business.
yourself. You disciplined yourself.
Well, he did.
Right.
You know, he made it happen.
That's a father's
right,
job.
Right, and I like that. Yeah, and I like the way you step in and do that with your kids, man. You know, they're not running ragged. Is that something because maybe your family, did you not have that necessarily in your life growing up?
I mean, man, they tried, bro. Like everybody in my family tried, but they was so they had so much going on with trying to provide and trying to just generate some form of prosperity financially that they ain't had time to watch after me, man, and look and make sure I ain't getting in this shit here and there. They had to get out there and get it the best way they could.
Right, that's real.
And me, I am blessed because none of my kids, from best to worst, none of my kids can ever be as bad as me.
Oh, wow. Damn.
None of them ever.
Right, well.
Ever.
Conditions are different.
Ever. That's what I'm just saying.
Right.
None of them can ever be as bad as me. Mm-hmm. So I'm blessed in that regard. So I kind of try to be as understanding as I can about how it feels to try and find your way in the world and try and be heard, even when everybody telling you a kid, you don't know nothing, shut up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I try to be as empathetic as I can and I just appeal to their logic. They're all brilliant children. I know they're brilliant because I made them that way. And I just ask them things like, I say, okay, like this, I'm going through this currently with my son King, right? So he's 17, of course. He knows everything. And he's the most like me. So heaven help me. But I say to him, okay, right now you're 17, right? He's like, yep. I say, okay, you remember 10 years ago you was 7? He said, yep. I said, you remember everything you learned now in those 10 years that caused you to do things differently than you did when you were 7? You remember you remember how much that was? He said, yeah. I said, so imagine at 27, where you gonna be? And he was like, man, I never thought about that. I said, I know you didn't because you're 17.
Right. It's all for the day.
And I said, but I do understand because this is the smartest you've ever been in life.
Right.
So you are impressed with yourself. I get it.
Yeah, I get that.
I am not.
Right.
But don't blame me just because I just said good morning more times than you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you continue to grow, you continue to challenge yourself and learn and accept the challenge of change, and you too can talk shit to another young nigga one day the way I'm talking shit to you.
All right. How do you remain, it seems, focused, being in the public eye, all the things that's happened to you?
Focused on what?
You seem to be focused.
On what?
You ain't, I don't know, you ain't jumping off a building, you ain't screaming and yelling and stuff.
It's still early.
Huh?
It's still early.
I ain't that about a bitch.
Nah, I'm just bullshit. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because I mean, through everything in the news and everything you see, and people talking about you and this and your business, your family, your blah, 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 blah. How do you, I'm a single man, and these niggas get on my nerves sometimes, okay? So I can imagine having to try to protect your family, your children, your wife, people saying stuff. How do you just maintain big word. Give me a good big word. Your
sanity.
No, that's a little bit bigger. Come on,
a little bit bigger.
Yeah, a little bigger. All
right, well, I'm gonna let you do it.
All right. No, but that's
your show.
No, you're right. No, but right, your sanity. How do you really keep a fucking instead of shutting down?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I believe in a higher power bigger than me.
Okay.
And I believe they put me here for a reason. And until they say I've completed my task, nobody is going to be able to take me away.
I like that.
And also I think that, so human beings are a culmination of their experiences.
Shit. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, the way you are is a sum of your experiences.
True.
The things you've gone through have shaped and molded you, your personality, your morals, your principles into the person that you are.
Right.
And the person that you are is that's who you expect that's what you expect others to be.
Right. Okay, I can see that.
That's what you expect from others.
Okay.
You expect people like if you ain't gonna do better than this, at least you can be
right.
What I know myself to be.
Right.
And a lot of people have had some pretty fucked up experiences. A lot of people have been exposed to some pretty dark shit. Like, and they expect that from others because that was the sum of their experiences.
Right.
And they project.
Yeah.
They project their experience on others. And I just constantly remind myself and the people around me, first of all, fuck them people. Simply because.
Right there. Tell them. Fuck them people.
Yeah, fuck them people.
Right.
I mean, and you know, not fuck them out of disrespect to them, but it got to be fuck them because that's how I stay sane.
There you go.
Like, fuck them people simply because their fantasy can never overrule my reality. I know who I am, they do not. I know what I am, they do not. You know, I just kind of rest in peace and comfort in that I know I'm a solid cat.
There it is.
I'm a solid cat, and I've always shown up and done what I could for others.
I respect that.
You know what I mean?
No, I respect that, man.
And I've always been there when I could, when it counted, and I can't let nobody else's exposure to bullshit or flaw shit make me flaw just because they say so.
Nobody
but hurt people.
There you go. Nobody can say you ain't solid, brother. Real. I mean, you've been in business too long, and you've maintained a certain level. For a lot of people dropped off since you started.
If I was a fuck nigga, it would have been exposed like a long time ago.
Right.
It's been 20 years now.
There you
so
go.
if I was a fuck nigga, if I was posing or hating or doing some shit that is contrary of what I present myself to be,
right?
then it would have been exposed by now. You can't keep a secret for 20-some years. Like, this is who I am. And anyone who knows me or who, if you run into people who went to school with me,
sure,
they'll say, man, that nigga was the same fucking way.
I feel you on that.
He has more means and more. But I always knew that this is what was meant for me. It was either selling drugs or doing this.
No, I appreciate and I respect that you came to do the show. I'm gonna wrap it up with that, but I do respect it because, brother, you didn't have to. I don't have 1 million followers, man. You could be like, bro,
you don't have 1 million followers. I'm out of here.
Oh, damn. Well, yeah, I ain't got nowhere near that. But the fact, I was like, man, you said you do it and you came. You know, a lot of people say
that took me a while because you was actually expecting me to schedule myself. And I don't never do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know how that works.
I know
now.
But I'm just saying, so, and to others, if I see you and you send me a request for a date and a time, I'm going to forget. So what the best thing for you to do is say, hey, put me in touch with who handles your calendar. Because if they put it on my calendar, if I tell you I'm going to do it, yeah, I do it. Then you contact them. They put it on my calendar. And I'm going to show up.
There it is. I mean, he showed up here. Before you leave, I do something called IG creeping.
Okay.
Like, oh, yeah, I go on your IG pay player. Well, we all go. And we pull up a little something, and we got to ask you some questions about some questionable, situations or looks you had.
Let's see it.
You know what I'm saying? So we could pull it up and see what it does.
Let's see what you got.
Let's see what we do. Okay, what we talking about there? We on our Idris Elba, Johnny Depp look, nigga. What's going on?
Fly motherfucker walking right there.
Wait, now I'm gonna give you credit with that,
Fly
man.
motherfucker walking right there.
Who put this ensemble together, brother?
The motherfucker you looking at in the picture.
Well, damn. Okay, my
What the
bad.
fuck you talking about?
No, you ready for a movie role? And this is another movie role for
man,
this.
for real, to be honest with you, bro, I just that's how I felt that day.
You want some fashionable shit?
That's how I felt that day. I wasn't even trying to be fashionable. I was just doing some shit that I felt other motherfuckers couldn't do.
Come on.
I was doing some shit I felt other motherfuckers couldn't do.
You fucking with the game and shit, man. Yeah. You got a couple pictures up on this motherfucker that you have. I was impressed with.
Now for this particular, so this is, me and Young Thug, we have like somewhat of a fashion war.
I can see.
And I always, when I do my thing, I hit him. I be like, "Well, you can't fuck with me." Now remember that.
No,
and,
right there.
And when he do his thing, he just put up a picture, and he was like, "Boy, I'm the best at this." Like, we just had
right. I like that.
A bit of a rivalry going on.
Well, show the other picture. I was surprised. Come on, brother. I thought you was in a store. I thought somebody was in a store. This is your closet?
It was my closet. That's my old house.
Come on, man.
That's my old house.
This motherfucker.
But I'm about to finish my new closet though.
Now I like all this, but I have a question. Yeah. What are those, nigga? What is those? The fuck is this, nigga? Man, what you doing with them?
Man, them some Louis Vuitton, Sebago motherfuckers.
I don't give a damn who make them, okay? I could have got them at Kroger's, man.
You asked me a question.
All right, what are those?
But if you notice, I snatched the shoestrings out of.
As you should. Okay, you should snatch more out of that motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, all right, got no. But I mean, it's clean though, man. Just all that shit you had, brother. Nah. You was a fly.
I set you straight, man. You know, that's another thing. That's another thing I pride myself in, man. Like, you know, they say that that good taste is common sense for geniuses.
Okay.
So, you know, other geniuses that I find that I can, you know, share good taste with,
right.
Whether you need a closet like this or you need a jacket like that.
Crazy.
Whatever it is, I would love to assist you.
This isn't, to me, the regular Southern look. You got some European influences where you dress, right?
Yeah, I think.
Come on.
Well, yes, but at the same time, I feel like.
Come on, son.
That is Italian cut.
Come on, that's what I'm saying.
But it's also off the rack. Like that's tailor made to fit. It's not off the rack. Excuse me. Pardon my French.
Right.
It's not off the rack. That's tailor made to fit. Heidi Aki is actually.
Heidi who?
Heidi Aki.
Nice, Heidi Aki.
It's a bespoke brand that I collaborate with, and they do like all my suits and shit.
Man, that is wicked, brother. I'm gonna tell you, I saw that picture. I was like, damn. So yeah, you got some overseas influences with that, man. That is. Man,
I just be trying to dress like my daddy, man. Like,
oh really?
You know what I'm saying? My pops was a fly motherfucker.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I just. If somebody hit me and say, "Boy, you look just like your dad," I was like, "Yeah."
There it is, right there. Well, you definitely fly. I mean, I can see why. I thought this person was in a store, man. I was like, you gotta be. Oh hell! Hold up.
That's a little bad ass tip from Bankhead, right now.
We got the golds in the back then too.
Yeah, they were silver, but that's a little bad ass tip from Bankhead.
That's right there. That's right there.
Yeah.
You gave that's the start of it all, right?
Absolutely.
I love it, man.
My little freshly groomed Jerry curl.
Yeah, right there you go. You got berries and juices, and I ain't mad at you, brother. You keep it going. But that's a nice little look. All right, before we get out of here, I'll play a quick game real quick, man. We got a thing called spin the wheel, man. I have people come in and spin the wheel. If it land on something, man, you got to do it, man. It's everywhere from, yeah, you might have to tell us the biggest lie that you ever told. And if you want to tell any of the stories you just told me, that's fine too. We can repeat them again.
Who you I'm sorry. You insinuating I was being less than truthful. Right. I get it.
Trading places. Who you trade? How you lost your virginity. Your celebrity crush. It don't have to be a real celebrity crush. Right? Yeah. You know, you can fake it. You can fake it.
But you know what? To be honest with you, my wife, when I was 13, 14, like that when she dropped her first album, I used to ride around, listen to her shit, and I said, I'm going to get the little one.
I like it. You got her.
I did.
I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you.
Now she got me.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Both of y'all got each other. You can spend again. We got money.
What about money?
We got a little.
I win money?
Yeah, if it lands.
But it don't say how much.
I know the tip game. I know the tip game. Okay, it is U.S. currency. Okay, and a real secret: how you lost your virginity, whatever.
Why you got the virginity on there twice?
It may fall in there twice.
Freaky motherfucker.
No. Hold on. Before we got to do a roll call. We got to do a rumbling. Okay. So and give it a real bankhead spin. Okay. Y'all ready for it? I'll give him a little round of applause. Come on, see what he gonna do with it. See where it gonna land. That's all right. I got this. We got this. It's in the budget. Yeah. All right. Give it a spin however you want. Come on, be real with it. Oh shit! Where's Papa gonna land at? Where it gonna land at? Where is it going? Oh, hold on. What is it?
Look like celebrity crush.
A celebrity crush call.
I just told you.
Damn.
I just told you.
How could you? Let me see how you can do that with your
But
wife.
I just did that. I just told you. That was my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're supposed to call her and be like, hey, babe, I'm going to see you tonight. You come on, we're going to do it. That's how the call's supposed to go. You're supposed to throw your Mac on whoever you had a crush on and shit. You know? Huh? You an actor. Here it is.
Man,
we know.
You trying to get me put the fuck out.
No, man.
Nah, man. But look, I ain't even going to lie to you, bro. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, I ain't never really had no
crush
like celebrity, like crush, this is a celebrity and I'm crushing on them.
Right.
I ain't never really did.
Right. I feel you.
I always wanted things that I could actually have.
Right. I feel you.
I don't want to just fantasize about shit.
But I mean, you go to strip clubs?
Of course I do.
See, but why you do that? Because you fantasizing.
I ain't fantasizing about shit.
Oh, you're throwing money. Okay, damn.
It's a part of the culture. Like this,
okay.
I started going to strip clubs because I didn't want to go to dance clubs because that's where you go in to get your shoes stepped on and shit. So you go to strip clubs and you can keep your shoes clean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can enjoy some nice lemon pepper.
Right.
Honey hot.
Okay, blue flame.
You know what I mean? I prefer Magic City.
Oh, well, okay. Well,
even though Blue Flame is in my neighborhood.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? They got shit going on there right now, you know, just, I guess you could call it sub-management. I just don't.
Sub-management.
You know how motherfucker think he the manager, but he ain't.
Right, the manager.
Yeah.
Bullshit ass. Well, we got a little swag bag we always have. It's all black owned in here. I need you to pull it out and look at it and read it, whatever. So this is all for you, brother.
Let's see what we got here, man.
Okay, first of all, come on, you got the coldest piece right there, bro.
You dig what I'm saying?
Ooh,
this
red,
motherfucker say
Pierre.
It ain't got no sleeve. I was just about to say, but it gave me a sleeveless t-shirt.
Come on, man, come on.
Man, I gave you a muscle shirt. Nah, this is Fido.
Yeah.
Pierre's Panic Room Podcast.
Right. Red, black, and green, brother. Come on,
you dig what I'm saying?
Red, black, and green,
Africa.
brother. There you go. That's what I got there. Yes.
Yeah.
We got a little, for your reading pleasures. This is about all the celebrities I met.
100 homies and phonies of Hollywood.
Look at So each chapter has a story how I met somebody who was cool, who was crazy, or whatever. So if you ever riding out the house, you know.
I ain't in this motherfucker, am I?
No.
Okay,
well, you've been in homies, the new one. You've been in homies. What else we got in there? I think we got something. We got.
What it did, bro?
Oh, there's a card. It's a card game.
Comedy hype card game.
So it's
Are
fun.
you a king of comedy?
There you go.
Do you know the comedy culture? One more thing. I forgot.
No problem. And give it a shout out. Look at that. Yeah.
Okay.
The young lady's here. She gave.
Yes. She told me. She promised me this bracelet before I got. This is the reason I stayed.
There it is, right there. I ain't mad at you. Yes.
Thank you. I am grateful for your support. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, this is a dope bracelet.
Yeah,
too,
it is.
man.
Look at that. What? That's fire, man. Celestial Goddess gave you that, man.
You dig what I'm saying?
We give you gifts here, brother.
Celestial
What
Goddess.
other podcast gives you gifts, man?
Actually, all of them.
Oh, damn. Probably better shit than mine.
But
well, you a mess, boy.
I certainly appreciate it.
No, it's all good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on my show, brother. You kept your word, man. I
pleasure.
appreciate it, brother. Really, man. Somebody of your level come on my show. I appreciate it, brother.
my
Again, I'm
pleasure.
humbled by it, man. And thanks again, y'all. Look, this is Pierre's Panic Room. You know how we do every week, man. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe button? Yeah, subscribe button. Subscribe. Boy, I'm going to tell you, man. Subscribe button and the notification bell.
Yeah.
Right there. All right. We do it every week here, man. We had the great Tip here today, man, and he did his thing, man. It's funny, not
Thank
personality.
you for having me.
You need it. I appreciate it.
This is much better than I thought it was going to be, so thank you.
Ain't that about a how bad you think it was?
Hey, man, another thing, right? So when I went to your show,
Right.
my wife and I, we
Here we
still
go.
laugh about this shit to this very day, right?
Oh, okay. I do that sometimes. People.
You got a wife?
No.
Okay.
I used to be married.
You used to be married?
11 years. Well, she was married. I was for 11. I was married for 5. I ain't proud of it, Tip. But you know what it was. The streets got me, man. Traveling the streets got me, bro.
Moving right along.
All right, then. There we go.
So there's a part of your show where you say, you know, how hood rats love Moscato.
Oh, yeah.
My wife stocks up on so much Moscato. I looked at her, I said, she said, "Shut up."
Right. Got the Moscato.
But you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of women who like Moscato that probably wouldn't consider themselves hood rats.
Oh well, okay.
But I love the joke. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's just a little humor. I didn't know you like comedy so much, on the
Man,
real.
I love it.
You are a lot of comedy shows, man. I was like, what?
I mean, that's what I do. That's what me and my wife would do for a pastime. If it's a comedy show tonight, as a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Erica Duchess has one.
Have you?
And then you remember Tripping on Tuesdays?
Yeah,
that
come
was
on.
us.
I know that you and Lil Duval, because you helped Lil Duval take his career to another level.
Well, Lil Duval is a personal partner of mine. He's always been a friend and a supporter, man, and we've helped each other along the way. You know, I did everything I could just because he's my friend. I ain't never received a dime. I don't eat when he eat.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he's done everything he could for me.
Right.
And that's just, same thing for K-Dub.
You got you got K-Dub now you working with?
Yeah.
You find these comedians and you get behind them.
I love comedy. You had the freestyle table and the Joning table.
Right.
Was really the same table.
Yeah,
Those are the same people in high school.
That's real
If you sitting at the freestyle table and the Joning table, then you kind of like was in with the funny motherfuckers and you in with kind of like the rappers and shit.
Right.
So that was kind of my table. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And a lot of us, we just kind of like, we're tethered. Our paths are tethered together somehow.
You ever thought about doing a Puff Daddy thing or Shaq tour with comedians? You know what I'm saying? Where they take the comedians out, Russell Simmons.
Man, you know what?
Come on,
I'm putting together.
Tip.
I'm putting together something.
Come on, Tip.
You know,
Come on.
I'm just thinking,
right.
who could I include? Though?
On this announcement right here.
Like, who
Look
would
to
I
your,
have?
look to your left, player. Not, I said behind you, no. I said left, man. You don't know your left, man. You don't know from your left from your behind. What the hell, man? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Well, here,
Nah, man, dead ass though. I love comedians because I love comedy. I think that a lot of us who've been through traumatic experiences, a lot of us who endured like some very excruciating times in our lives, one of the best ways for us to understand it and to get through it was to laugh at it.
There it is, right
so
there.
I appreciate what you guys do.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming, y'all. We had Tip on there. Give him a round of applause, y'all, for coming through, y'all. Pierre's Panic Room. Every week we do this, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Don't forget the subscribe button, and the notification bell.
Subscribe to say
Oh, man, get about it here, man. Thanks, bro.
I love, bro.
Hey, man, come on. You did the thing, man. Oh, what we do?
Hey, say what's going on, man. TIP the King good, man. Let y'all know I survived Pierre's Panic Room. Turn me up a little bit. Turn me up a little bit.
If you like that show, like, subscribe, and comment below. You know, hit the notification bell. Hit the subscribe button, man. We want you around. Appreciate it.